And I have to begin by saying 250 million Americans are not garbage. This week, Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And now, speaking on a call for her campaign last night, Crooked Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. No way. No way. And they actually mean it, even though, without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala. Higher quality. Higher quality. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. That's true. You can't be president if you hate the American people, which I believe they do. And Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States. In no way is she fit. She doesn't have the intellect, the stamina, or that special quality that real leaders, people like Brett Favre, have. They don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have what he's got. Few people do, to be honest with you. Joe Biden's comments were the direct result of Kamala's decision to portray everyone who isn't voting for her, which is a lot of people, as evil and subhuman. And we know it's really what they believe, because look at how they've treated you. They treat you like garbage. They treat our whole country like garbage, with open borders, with all of the horrible things they've done to hurt our country, inflation that should have never happened, allowing Russia to go into Ukraine, October 7th in Israel. All of these things would have never happened if you had a different president. For the past 9 years, Kamala and her party have called us racists, bigots, fascists, deplorables, irredeemables, Nazis, and they called me Hitler. They've bullied you, they've demonized us, they've censored us, they've deplatformed us, and they weaponized the power of our own government against all of us. They've taken your money, they've thrown open your borders to criminals and terrorists, they've flooded your towns with deadly drugs and death. They're incompetent people. They've given your jobs to illegal migrants and sent our blood and treasure to fight in stupid foreign wars where the countries don't even know who we are and where we've never heard of the country. This Tuesday is your chance to stand up and declare you are not going to take it anymore. Six days from now, we can turn the page forever on this failed and corrupt administration. It's a corrupt administration, you do know that. We can declare once and for all that we are done with their hatred. We're done with their hysteria. We're done with their hoaxing, lying, cheating, scheming, plundering, and stealing. Oh, they steal. They steal. We're not going to let them divide and destroy America any longer. What we have built is the biggest, broadest, most incredible coalition and the greatest political movement in the history of our country. It's made up of hardworking men and women who make this country run, who really built this country. Originally, we have brought together veterans and union members, soldiers and steelworkers, farmers and auto workers, and patriotic moms and dads of every race, religion, color, and creed. We're welcoming historic numbers of African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and Arab Americans. And we're uniting Christians and Jews, Catholics and evangelicals, Muslims and Mormons, and everyone who simply wants to do one thing: make America great again. Thank you. Our campaign has been endorsed by the 400,000 members of the Fraternal Order of Police and every single police group all around our country. It's been endorsed by the Border Patrol. We have the greatest people, that Border Patrol. Those agents are incredible. They've given me the strongest endorsement you've ever heard. The greatest president ever, they said. And they said, she is the worst person we've ever worked for. She, in 4 years, never called us one time about the border. And it's destroying our country, the border. So I want to thank the Border Patrol. I want to thank ICE. I want to thank ICE. They're incredible people. We've been supported by the rank-and-file membership of the Teamsters, 62%, think of that, by our beautiful and very brilliant Elon Musk. Do we love Elon? All I know is when that rocket ship came down last week, I said, oh, this is going to be terrible. It's going to crash. Look, oh, it's going to crash. It was coming down this way. And then those jets kicked in. The fire was pouring all over the place. I said, what's going on? And all of a sudden, it started to be perfect, straight, dropped down. Then those arms grabbed it like you grabbed your little baby, grabbed it. And I said, who the hell pulled off that? I thought it was a science fiction movie, actually. I called up Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, that was me. I said, that's why we love you, Elon. I said, can Russia do that? No, they can't. Can China do that? Nope, they can't. Can the U.S. do it other than you? No, they can't. I said, well, special guy, right? Special guy. Special guy. And we're endorsed also by a very brilliant and wonderful man, and it took a lot of courage for him to do this. As you know, their family's slightly Democrat for the last long period of time. RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy. And he's going to be with us, and he's going to make sure our food is safe, our people are safe, our women are safe. The only thing I don't think I'm going to have him get involved with too much is the liquid gold under our feet. I want to say, look, Bobby, we got a lot of liquid gold, and I like it better than he does, but I'm going to give him a lot. Just take care of everybody's health, and he'll do a great job of it. He's really a very special guy, special. And Tulsi Gabbard, respected by everybody, she just signed on an endorsement and became a Republican. She just became a Republican. And another one is Buzz Aldrin. Now, I didn't realize this. I had respect for him for many years. Great astronaut, great person, highly respected. And I said, you know, he'd be good, but what's the big deal with Buzz? They said, sir, he just endorsed you, and he's never done that before. Wow. I said, listen, I want to mention his name. And I want to give a special thanks to a man that you may not have heard of, Brett Favre, because and his great family. What a beautiful boy, what a beautiful family. But this is a special guy. Man, does he have a hand, you know? This guy shook my hand. His fingers are like sausages. No wonder he can throw the ball so hard. There was nobody like him, really. I've watched him throw those 500-yard games like it was nothing. He was flinging it. He didn't throw it, he flung it, right? Thank you, Brett. What a great honor. What a great champion. What a great champion. And what a beautiful boy and family. Incredible wife. Thank you, darling, very much. Great honor to have you. Thank you, Brett. And I came in, I went on the plane, I'm watching, and I heard him get applause. And I'm a little upset because I think he got bigger applause than me, and I'm not happy. He got bigger than me. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, everybody. Isn't it an honor to have him? That's unbelievable. Kamala and Joe call all of us, and them, even them, garbage. I call you the heart and soul of America. You are the heart and soul. You built our country. You know, you built our country. You built it. Far more than they built it, I can tell you that. You built it. And by the way, I want to thank all of our incredible sanitation workers all across America. Because they work hard, they really do work hard. And they do an incredible job, and they don't get the credit they deserve, like our police, like our firefighters, like so many others. They don't get the credit, but everybody knows we love them, and everybody knows they deserve the credit, and they will get the credit. And with us, we appreciate them. With the help of everyone here today, on November 5th, we're going to bring back our country, and we're going to bring it to levels of greatness that nobody actually thought even possible. So we're going to do that. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. I believe that because we are in a country right now that's in serious decline, and we're not going to let the country decline. We're in a failing country. We're in a country that's being laughed at all over the world by other leaders. They laugh at our leaders. We're not going to let that happen anymore. That didn't happen 4 years ago. So while we're running a campaign of solutions to save America, and America which they have virtually destroyed during their almost 4-year period of rule, Kamala Harris, a very low IQ individual, is running a campaign of hate, anger, and retribution. She spends all of her time complaining about everything, but does nothing about it. She talks about the border, but why didn't she do it 3.5 years ago? She talks about all these things. We're going to help the environment. Why didn't she do it? We had the best environment. By the way, we had the cleanest water and the cleanest air at any time in recorded history. She talks about what she's going to do about inflation, which has destroyed our senior citizens and our middle class, what they've done. You know, I had no inflation, and we had the best economy in history. That's a nice combination. But she did nothing about it, or what she's going to get. She's going to talk about how she's going to get the economy going. Oh, I watched her last night. I watched her. Oh, I'm going to get. She didn't say anything. She said, I'm going to get the economy, but she didn't say how. I said how. I said, we're going to bring companies in. We're going to protect those companies. They're going to take advantage of all of the things that we're doing. They're going to hire people at numbers that you wouldn't even believe. We're going to have hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of companies coming in to our country. And I will use a thing called the most beautiful word to me ever. Not quite. Well, let me say this. How about third? Let's put religion number 1 and love number 2. And then we'll put the word tariff number 3. Tariff. They're going to have to pay us to come in and use our wealth and take our jobs and do what they've done. But nobody ever did that except me. China paid us hundreds of billions of dollars. They weren't happy, but I still got along with them very well. And then COVID came, and I wasn't happy. That was a bridge too far. But we're the greatest economy in the history of our country. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China and others. And we were just getting started. But remember this, Kamala and Crooked Joe head up the worst administration in the history of our country by far. He's the worst president in the history of the USA, and she is by far the worst vice president in the history of the USA. Remember, 5 months ago, they said you couldn't even think about using her. She's grossly incompetent, right? Then all of a sudden, they wanted to get politically correct, and they chose her above 12 other people that, frankly, were much more capable. But what they did to Biden, and I'm no fan of his, but you know what the rumor is? He likes me more than her. Can you believe that? He likes me. He likes me more. But their administration makes Jimmy Carter's administration look absolutely brilliant. And in all fairness to Jimmy, he didn't let 21 million people pour into our country with thousands and thousands of criminals and murderers and drug dealers, people from mental institutions. They're emptying out, think of this, they're emptying out mental institutions from all over the world, from the Congo in Africa. They're all over the world, from Asia, from the Middle East, from South America. They're emptying their jails. Think of that. They're emptying their jails. They're emptying their mental institutions and insane asylums into the United States of America, and these two stupid people allow it to happen. 13,000 plus murderers, many of them committed more than one murder, and they're walking around in our country free and clear to kill again, and they will. They'll kill many times. And last night, Kamala made a speech with a lot of paid audience. They had a lot of paid audience. They came in buses, the same buses, all those same buses. You know what that means? They bust people in. We didn't bust any people in here. We could have sold this place out 4 times. No, they come in, they bus them from someplace, they pay them or something. They bus them in with every bus, beautiful bus company, I will say. They did a nice job, bus after bus. And then they leave. They leave before she finishes. But listen, the worst was 4 nights ago. They got Beyonce. Beyonce. They got Beyonce. They said, ladies and gentlemen, they said Beyonce is coming to sing, and she came, but she didn't sing. And then Kamala came on as Beyonce was leaving without singing even one song, and they booed the hell out of both of them. But we don't need Beyonce. We don't need anybody. All you got is me, and I don't have a guitar. I do not have a guitar. But if you look outside, you could have sold this big arena out 4 times. And at Madison Square Garden the other night, you could have sold that great, incredible, look, Madison Square Garden, MSG, the greatest, I think the greatest, right? It's got to be. It's Mecca for the great championships. In the history of Madison Square Garden, they told me, Jim Dolan, everybody, they're fantastic, the job they did for us Sunday night. They said, you could have sold this thing 10 times. We've never seen. In all of those years, they had crowds of people, and I don't mean lines, I mean massive groups of people, all the way back down to the Hudson River. We could have sold it out 10 times. And that's just based on what we're saying. But she spoke last night, and it was boring as hell, but I have an obligation to watch it, you know, because she's our competition. We have to win. We can't take it. They would destroy this country. If they won this thing, they would destroy. You'd have 300 million people coming through, not just 21. Can you imagine? Open borders policy for the entire world, for every criminal in the world. But she talked last night, and all she talked about was Donald Trump.
Everyone, tonight I will speak about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, 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 Trump.
That's all she talked about because she and Joe have absolutely no achievements. They only have failure and gloom and death. And death. Look at the death they've caused in Afghanistan. Look at that. Look at the death they've caused at our border. And you'll see that. You'll see that what they've done, they've been so bad. We have to get them the hell out fast. She suffers from a very serious disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. But many Democrats do. And you know why they do? Because we're winning. We're winning. We are winning. So this Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough. You can't take it anymore. You're the worst vice president. You're the worst border czar. There's never been anybody bad like you. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Thank you very much. So this outfit, you know, is when he called us all garbage. How stupid. What a stupid word. That blows deplorable away, don't you think? Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable or irredeemable. I thought irredeemable was actually worse, but deplorable seemed to catch on. But this garbage stuff blows it away. So I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. I have a wonderful suit on. And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, you know, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now out there. The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?" Now, we're about, 30 minutes from landing. We had to do this pretty quick. I said, it's sort of cool, though, isn't it? Because, And I said, I think that's okay. But, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit. And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. They put a big sign on the truck. Did you see it? I think they showed it to you. Yeah. And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest?" But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good. So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, "You didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big?" They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, "Man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all watching. Look at all the fake news. They were most of them. No, most of them. Many of them were there, and I'm saying, oh, boy. One little mistake with these guys and your political career's over. You can't even. So I said, man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing. These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired. And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going and I made it. I made it. And then I gave a little news conference from the front of the, they asked their wise guy questions and everything. And then we drove about 2 feet. I got out, got into the plane. And then I got in the car and I'm driving over here and I have this still on. And I come into the arena and I say, where's my jacket? I want to get out of this thing. And they said, it would be unbelievable if you could wear it on stage. I said, and I said, no way. I got 25,000 people standing outside. I got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said, oh, okay, sir. I said, get me my jacket. But if you did, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, oh. And they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case, I'll wear it on stage. I may never wear a blue jacket again. I may go in this. I said that was the word, that was the key. Sir, you look thinner. So anyway, we had a little fun about a very serious subject. We had a little fun about a time where our country is not having a lot of fun because we're not doing well as a country, but we're going to be doing well very shortly. I promise you that. And I guess you've been reading and seeing the news. It's big stuff. That's all they talk about now is the election. Boy, 6 days, 5 days. But we've set an all-time record in early voting, and the Republicans have set the highest record. They've never even come close. And for you that want to know, tomorrow is the last day for you right here. We've been doing great. This is a great state. This is always been good. Remember this. When you're getting ready to pull that lever, I gave you a boat contract just before I left. And this contract, you know where, right? I gave you, correct. I gave you, and you're building the most beautiful boat. And I'll tell you what, you're doing a great job. They're doing a great job. But everybody in the country wanted that contract. It's a big Navy contract, like 28 ships. They're really like yachts. They're like beautiful yachts with a lot of guns on them. A lot of guns and weapons. And I'm a guy, I love beauty. Oh, I love beauty. So I took that ship and I designed the bow a little bit differently. I said, no, it's got to have more of a point. It was like, and they were great. And they're building it and it's been so successful. It's the most beautiful thing. But I took a lot of heat from other states because everybody wanted that contract. One of the biggest contracts we've given out in a long time for ships. And they're doing a great job. But you better remember, Wisconsin, I gave it to you. I wanted to give it to you. No, I'm a very visual person. I'm very visual. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's can't help that. And I sort of wanted to redesign it a little bit, and we did, and they were great. They said, well, that's good. And then they said, you're right, this does look better. It's gorgeous. It's really good. So tomorrow is the last day to request a mail-in ballot, and you still have a few more days to do early in-person voting, but the main thing is to get everyone out and vote, vote, vote. We're going to vote, vote, vote. And we've had tremendous crowds. I've been up here probably 4 or 5 times already. You got me working, Wisconsin. I mean, what the hell do I need this for, right? Do I need this? If it wasn't for bread, I would not have done this, okay? No, but look. I've been up here 4 or 5 times. We had one area, small area, beautiful area actually, but small, and they wouldn't give us enough Secret Service. We had 71,000 people. We ended up in a room with 900. So we have 71,000 people. You saw that about a month ago. 71,000 people. I had a room like a basketball court for 900 because they don't want to take care of us. But it's been getting better and better. It's a little dangerous being president, I will tell you. I didn't think about that. But I could tell the story that a race car driver, a race car driver, 1% of 1%, right? 0.1%, but 1% of 1%. Very little. Bull riders, I think that's a slightly dangerous profession. A little bit more than a race car driver, but very little, much less than 1%. A president, I don't want to tell you the percentage, but this is a very dangerous profession. And if I had to do it again, I would have done it every single time because we're going to make America great again. And if we win Wisconsin, I don't know if you know, it's very important. You're a very political state, actually. But if we win Wisconsin, we win the whole thing. We're going to win the whole thing. And we've always done well up here, so it's great, and we love it, and we love being here, actually. So together we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win back that beautiful White House, and it's going to happen very quickly. And if you think of it, Kamala Harris cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation in the history of our country. She cost the typical American family over $30,000 in higher prices, and now Kamala wants to raise the typical family's taxes by $3,000 a year. Congratulations. But if I win, we will rapidly defeat inflation, and I will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable. We've got to bring those costs down. They call it groceries. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, everything is so much higher than it ever was, and we're going to bring that down, and we're going to do it very simply. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring the energy down, and everything's going to come down. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses all over the country, and we're going to have something that really has turned out to be quite good. In Nevada we're winning, in Arizona we're winning by a lot. We just got I won't tell you which ones, but in certain states they've already pulled their advertising because they don't want to waste it. They were so far ahead. We're so far ahead. So we're going to get the taxes down and she's raising the taxes, remember that. Everything she says is a lie. She lies. If I say, look, you all know I'm a big fracker, okay? I never said we won't frack. I'm a driller and I'm a fracker. She's not a fracker. She has a commercial that says he doesn't want to frack. Just the exact opposite. Boy, what liars. I've never had, even Crooked Hillary wasn't this dishonest. And she was damn bad, but she wasn't dishonest like these people. Well, I think they're desperate. They said things, I see these ads, it's the exact opposite. It's like her policies used to be, before she changed them a year, she changed 15 different policies. If you're a politician, you might get away with one, but 15 policies. She loves transgender operations all over the place. Everybody should have one. She loves men playing in women's sports, isn't that great? And she loves open borders where people can pour into our country. But now she's changed that about a year ago. She changed it, and so good. In fact, I think I'm going to send her your MAGA hat. Can I have your MAGA hat? Are they the greatest? Is that the greatest? It's like a sea of red. Except for Elon. Elon had the black hat, right? And I didn't even know we had a black hat. And he shows up in a black hat, Make America, and the letters were black. It was very subdued. And I said, Elon, where'd you get that hat? He said, it's dark MAGA. He called it dark MAGA. And he wore it. He wore it to Butler. He wore it in Pennsylvania, one of the great nights. We had 107,000 people show up for Corey, the firefighter. Butler, PA. And Elon wore it, and he had such a good, he spends all the time in these labs and stuff. It's like crazy. And when he got out, he said, I've never seen anything like this. He had the black MAGA hat on. Here's the good news. I sold 10,000 of those hats over the next week. I didn't even know we had black hats. We sold 10. There was a run on black MAGA, dark MAGA. And Byron liked it too, didn't you, Byron? Huh? Byron liked it. Byron looked beautiful in it. Huh? He looks good in anything. So that was something, I'll tell you. But that was an incredible salute to somebody that deserved it. A big Trump fan. And we raised him a lot of money, too. We raised the family a lot of money because he deserved it. We have a man tonight. Maybe I'll introduce him really fast, just fast. He's a friend of mine, very successful guy. And I've known him for a long time. He's a member of a place called Mar-a-Lago. Nobody's ever heard of it. But he said, sir, do you mind if I give some money to the widow of Corey, the firefighter? I said, absolutely you should, because Corey had a great career, but it's not exactly, the money doesn't exactly flow in, right? So he hands me a check. And I didn't really look at it, just put it in my pocket. Then I got back home and I looked at it, $1 million. Dan, stand up, please. Stand up. What a nice thing. And then we raised another $4 or $5 million for the family and also for the two gentlemen that took hard hits. They took hard hits too. The doctors were incredible up there. These guys took 2 hard hits. These were big Trump fans and MAGA fans more than even Trump fans. And they know what we're doing is right, but boy, they got hit. But they were, in fact, we thought we lost 3 people and they made it. And we're giving them something substantial, but we wanted to take care of them all. So Corey was gone immediately, but it was amazing. But I want to thank you, Dan. That was nice, Dan. So we're going to have, in addition to taking care of our workers and lowering the taxes, we're going to also have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. And I'm going to support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of their parent or loved one. And they deserve it, right? They deserve it. They're great. You know, if you didn't have people like that, you wouldn't have enough hospitals in this country. They do a job that's incredible, and they do it out of love. You don't have to worry about it. They do it out of love. So we're going to work on a good tax credit for them. We're going to get it done, too. So I will terminate the Green New Scam, and I will cut your energy prices in half. Within 12 months, your energy prices will be in exactly half. 50%. 50%. 50. To bring back millions of jobs, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. It won't be that way for long if we have idiots running it. It won't be that way. But right now we can say it. But only for those who make their product here in the USA and hire American workers for the job. They're the only ones that do. And if these companies don't make their products here, then they will pay a stiff tariff, when they send their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers and our now protected companies. We're going to protect these companies so they don't leave us like they have been doing for 50 years. And we'll also pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. That's if China or any other country charges us 100 or 200% tariff or tax, then we will charge them a like 100 or 200% tariff or tax, called an eye for an eye. And you'll see everything just disappear. I will never apologize for defending America. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our families. And I will protect the birthright of our children to live in the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Get out and vote. And as we rescue our economy, I will also restore our borders. We're going to have a border. We had the strongest border. Wait. Bring down my all-time favorite chart. Bring it down. In history. I love that chart. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that chart, if I didn't look over to the right. I wouldn't be here. I love that chart. Even if the numbers were lousy, I would love that chart. But the numbers are the best ever. So the arrow, the big red arrow on the bottom, that arrow. That's an aggressive youngster. He's going to go places. He's going to go places. But that's my last day in office, and you look at what's happened. That was a Elon rocket ship after that day. Look what happens to that chart. Look what happens to that chart. That was the lowest illegal immigration that we've had. All they had to do, Biden, when he went to the beach, all he had to do is leave it alone. We had Remain in Mexico. Nobody could come in. The head of Mexico president said to me, of course we won't do that. No, I said, you will do it. You will do it. He said, no, we won't let them remain in Tijuana. Hundreds of thousands of people coming up, pouring through our borders with the past administration. I said, no, you're going to do it. He said, I'm not going to do it. We had a good relationship. I liked the guy. He was a socialist, but that's okay. And I said, no, you're going to do it, because if you don't do it, I'm going to put 100% tariff on everything you're selling to us. And you're going to end. He said, what do you mean 100? I said, well, I'll start off at 10. I'm going to raise it to 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, and I'll stop at 100, I promise. That's more money than anything you ever heard. And he said, Donald, I would love to do as you request. I would love to. It'd be my great honor to have a policy of Remain in Mexico. Over the past 4 years, Kamala has orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has ever inflicted upon our people. The most egregious. It's disgusting what she did. She's violated her oath and eradicated our sovereign border and unleashed an army of migrant gangs. They're waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens like we've never suffered before. We've never had this before in our country. It's an invasion, ladies and gentlemen. It's an invasion. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo, including savage criminals who assault, rape, and murder our women and girls. Anyone who would let monsters kidnap and kill our children does not belong anywhere near the Oval Office. And my people told me about 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said, we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. I said, why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them. I'm going to protect them from migrants coming in. I'm going to protect them from foreign countries that want to hit us with missiles and lots of other things. Remember, for 4 years we had no war other than I defeated ISIS, but I defeated ISIS and I felt like Brett Favre. I defeated ISIS in 4 weeks instead of 5 years, which they said it was going to take. Because we have a great military, we just didn't have any leadership at the top. I mean, in the office of the president, or even close to it. So I said, I'm going to defend and I'm going to protect women. I'm not going to let people go up to the suburbs or go into places where they live, whether it's suburbs or cities or farms. We're going to protect our women. At the border, we're going to protect our women. And also, we're going to protect our men and our children. We're going to protect everybody. Is there any woman in this giant stadium who would like not to be protected? Is there any woman in this stadium that wants to be protected by the president? I love these. You know, these women are from North Carolina. These women, they've been to 251 rallies. Look how beautiful they are. And they're all happily married. They're beautiful husbands. I saw them once. But, you know, I never see their husbands. I only see them. Look at them. They travel all over the country. This is at least a pretty close one. They go to California. They're incredible women. I think they have a good home life. I'm not exactly sure. No, their husbands are great, but I appreciate it. Yeah, it's like 251. Can you believe it? And we have front row Joes here, too. They've been to like 400. We got a lot of front. It's good to see you. These are great people. They're patriots, I will tell you. And they're very successful people. Very successful people. And we have Mr. Wall here someplace. He's great. He has the wall. I'm going to use that suit someday when I come out. But and it's representative. We've built 571 miles of wall on the southern border. And Mexico paid for it by supplying us with soldiers free of charge, more money than, because technically you can't get them to build the wall if you own the wall, which unfortunately we couldn't work out, but I did better. We got their soldiers and they protected us while we were building it, and they still protect us to a certain extent. So I want to thank, we've had a good relationship with Mexico, but they're going to have to do a better job. We're losing much more than 100,000 people a year to fentanyl coming in from China and then through Mexico. We're going to talk to Mexico very early in our discussions. We're maybe like the first day, one of the very first calls I'm going to make, because we cannot let fentanyl come into our country. Can't let it come in. And I'm talking to China, too. I'll call President Xi. We had a deal, President Xi and I, and then we had whole thing come in with the China virus, right? But we had a deal with President Xi. He was going to give the death penalty to anybody producing fentanyl and sending it into the United States. But of course, when Biden took over, it didn't mean anything. Just like the Abraham Accords, we had 4 countries. I would have had that filled. We would have had peace in the Middle East. They didn't do anything. They just sat there with it. So, you know, we'll get it all taken care of as soon as we get in. But today I want you to hear directly from a mother whose world was absolutely shattered. This is a sad thing. I've had it for one day, and everybody that's seen it, they end up crying. Strong, tough guys, they end up crying. It's so sad. And It's emblematic of what's happening in our country. By thousands and thousands of people are being killed. This was a young, beautiful girl. Please watch.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends.
Yeah. We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
We begin with two men we're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
Apprehended, then released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death. The men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence.
Kamala Harris was in charge of immigration in our borders. If we had better border policies and not open borders and not these catch and release policies, I truly believe this all could have been prevented. Under her being vice president of this country, my daughter's life was ripped away from her. She had her entire life ahead of her.
Happy birthday, dear Jocelyn.
My daughter is 6 feet in the ground based off of policies that she allowed to keep. Kamala Harris did have one job, and she not only failed, not me, she failed my daughter. She failed Jocelyn. You know, she was only 12. President Trump reached out, gave me his sincerest condolences as not a former president, but just as a father, someone who cares. I believe Donald Trump needs to be back in office. I can at least know that my next child will be safe in this country.
This is what we're letting into our country, and this is times thousands, all different forms, all different ages, but by thousands and thousands of people are being killed, being mutilated. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. Thank you. The savages charged with brutalizing and murdering precious Jocelyn are members of the same vicious Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua, that's taking over apartment complexes and unleashing violent killing sprees all over America. They took over, as you know, in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. They took over a big section, apartment complexes and others. And they're all over the country. They're even in Times Square in New York City now, and we're getting them the hell out. Take a look.
Open borders, deadly consequences.
Border crisis. Record high crossings are putting a strain on cities across America.
It is a full-blown invasion.
Armed Venezuelan gang members storming an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
When people talk about migrant crime, this is what they're talking about.
San Antonio, Texas, just one of the latest cities to have apartment complexes taken over by members of the Venezuelan gang.
Biden and Harris had created a program to bring them in under humanitarian parole.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been released into the United States.
My 20-year-old daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered in her own room. Kayla's murderer was apprehended by Border Patrol crossing illegally into the U.S.
Kayla's murderer had been improperly released into the United States.
Abolish ICE. Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
More than a dozen people suspected of being Tren de Aragua gang members right here in San Antonio.
The gang members had been terrorizing the apartment complex.
New details in the murder of Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national.
And was paroled and released into the country by the Biden administration.
If they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
Martinez Rangel wrapped his arms around Jocelyn's neck, took off her pants, and climbed on top of her. Later strangled Jocelyn to death and then tied up her hands and feet.
Court documents suggest a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan street gang.
The men threatened to cut off her fingers if she did not cooperate. Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colleyville police just 2 days earlier and released the day before the robbery.
A Peruvian gang leader who is wanted for 23 murders. He was arrested by Border Patrol near Roma, Texas, then released into America.
This is what we're letting into our country with no control whatsoever. We have no idea who they are. They don't check them. There's no vetting. There's no nothing. They're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. Last month, I was in the beautiful small town of Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, where police arrested a Tren de Aragua gang member who crossed Kamala's wide open border. Just come on in. And then came into your state and held a mother and daughter captive against their will and sexually assaulted them again and again and again and did great harm to both. Just last week, an illegal alien driving an SUV hit a 60-year-old retired Green Bay police officer as he was helping two drivers by the side of the road. Instead of helping his critically injured victim, the illegal alien, who had a can of beer in his passenger seat and lots of cans of beer and plenty of other things in the car, got out of his car and ran away, leaving the retired policeman to die and bleed to death. We're praying for his family. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. And on day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. We have no choice. It's not sustainable for any country. It's not sustainable what's happening to us. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. We are being invaded, and we are being conquered, just like it was a military operation. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country very rapidly. To expedite removals of Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you believe 1798? That's when we had people that wanted to protect their people. I have to go back a long way. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network, and every single one of them operating on American soil. And there are many. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America. They'll be banned. With their open borders, they're going to destroy your Social Security and Medicare. They're destroying your Social Security and Medicare. They are going to do it, and I don't think they care. But I'm going to save it all, and I'm going to, more importantly and most importantly, we're going to save our country. We're going to save our country. Kamala's gross incompetence. Her gross incompetence disqualifies her from being President of the United States of America. She's incompetent. Everyone knows it. No one respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. And to make her president would be a gamble with the lives of millions and millions of people. She would get us into a third world war. She doesn't know how to talk to these people. They would laugh at her. They would laugh at her because she's so grossly incompetent to do the job. She's not going to be able to do the job. And everybody that knows her agrees that 5 months ago, they said there's no way she could be running for president. She's incompetent. And then she runs, and because she's a member of this savage machine known as the Democrat Party, and then all of your sons and daughters will end up getting drafted to fight these endless wars that we've been in. I've gotten us out of so many. I was the only president, think of this, in 82 years not to start a war. We dealt with peace through strength. Our enemies are laughing at her. If we win, America will be feared and respected again. Feared's okay. On issue after issue, Kamala broke it, and I will fix it. I will fix it, and I'll fix it fast. On top of it all, Kamala says that she would not do one thing differently from crooked Joe Biden, which in itself is disqualifying. I wouldn't do one thing differently. Take a look, please.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022.
2 men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A 5th illegal immigrant accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret. Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition. US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Tren de Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
Thank you. And our country is rated 87% wrong track. You know what that means? Wrong track. We're on the wrong track. The country knows it, and that's why we should have absolutely, nobody's ever had a score like that in one re-election. Nobody's ever. And she's a part of Biden. Remember, she's trying to disassociate from him so badly. She doesn't know what to do. She's torn. She doesn't know what to do. She's a part of that whole mess that we have in Washington. And I will tell you that if you want to end this disaster, you have to get out and vote. We all have to get out and vote, vote, vote. I'm thrilled to be joined by all of these great people from the Green Bay area and Wisconsin area. And again, I want to thank Brett for being here and for giving me that really incredible tribute of an endorsement. I'm not going to ask him to come up. He made such a good speech. I watched it. Brett made such a good speech. I don't know if he could do that again. Brett, you did so good. I'd let you do it again, but I think you hit it perfectly. What do you think? We love you, Brett. Thank you. We love this guy. Man, he's something. Oh, that arm. Boom, boom. What a player. What a great guy. I think he's beyond as a person. I think he might even beyond what he was as a player, but that's pretty hard to do. Thank you very much, Brett. Great honor to your family. Thank you. We're also joined by Brett's incredible wife, Deanna, and that son is so good. He's a great soccer player. The son, Taylor. Thank you very much. And look at him. He's a little shy. He's a little shy. He's a good soccer player right here, who I think is that's an incredible family. As you know, she fought breast cancer. She won her battle. And she's been an inspiration. She's been an inspiration to everybody. You have been an inspiration. I've heard that. A lot of people, they said that. Thank you, Deanna. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Also with us is another Green Bay football phenom, running back. You may know the name, Quadzilla, the Quad Father, A.J. Dillon. I got to meet him backstage. Get healthy soon, A.J. Get healthy soon. Look at this guy. I met AJ backstage. I said, this guy is a seriously good-looking athlete. We're going to watch you get better soon. You're going to be in good shape, I think. I hear great. Thank you, AJ, very much. I'd also like to thank a friend of mine for being just a great senator. Very simple. And just a fantastic person, Ron Johnson, Senator Ron Johnson. Great. He's great. And a future great one. He's going to work together. What a tandem. Eric Hovde, and he's doing terrific. Eric, you are doing well. Well, he has my complete and total endorsement, and you're doing well. I saw you're up in the polls like winning. You're winning. That's what we want. That's the guy. Tammy Baldwin is terrible, by the way. And a friend of mine, he said a long time ago, sir, 2016, he said, sir, don't come up here, sir. You can't win here. You can't win. It's a tough state. Don't come up. Tommy Thompson, right? But don't come up, sir. And I said, what do you mean, Tommy? Just don't come up. Look, if anything changes, I'll let you know and you'll come up. But don't waste your time. You have to win other states. This is 2016. I was sort of insulted, but I figured, what the hell? Who knows better than Tommy Thompson, right? About 4 weeks later, I had a couple of good weeks. I get a call. It's Tommy Thompson. Sir, it's time for you to come up. Get up here quickly. And we won Wisconsin. Tommy Thompson. You remember that, Tommy? You remember that? You remember that, Tommy? He didn't want me to come up. Then he says, sir, get your ass up here, sir. You're doing good. That's great, Tommy. Thank you. You've been a great friend of mine, actually. And we're doing well now. We're really rocking here, right? They're doing well. Thank you very much. All of you, thank you very much. And House Majority Whip, a highly respected man, a powerful man in Washington, but respected by everybody, Tom Emmer from Minnesota. Thank you. He's a Majority Whip. Majority Whip. That's big stuff. Thank you, Tom, very much. And Representatives Tom, Tiffany, my friend, and Glenn Grothman. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Glenn. Really great, great congressmen and warriors. They're both warriors. And we have another warrior, Byron Donalds. He's my great warrior, too. Great guy. All great people. Congressional candidate who's doing really well, Tony Weed. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. Tony, you're doing well. He's a winner. And my son-in-law, Michael, who's helped us so much in this campaign, he's been great. I want to thank him, and I want to thank his father and the chairman of the Wisconsin Republican Party, Brian Schimming. Wow, have you been good? Brian, I got to watch his speech on the plane just coming in before I got into the garbage truck. I had a choice. Watch your speech. So I delayed the garbage truck. You were fantastic. Thank you. We're doing well. We're going to win, Mr. Chairman, right? You're going to win. We're going to win. Thank you, Brian. Very good. Great job. So just in conclusion, here are the facts. Kamala is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or even Pocahontas herself. Pocahontas. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund the police movement. And anybody who wants to defund the police for even 1 week or 1 day or 1 second is not worthy of being president of the United States of America. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE, our great ICE heroes. We don't have ICE, so we don't get the tough ones out. These are tough people that love our country. They're incredible. And as California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. Oh, that's nice. She pledged to confiscate your guns. Would anybody like to give up that gun? I don't think so. I don't think so. And endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. No more handguns. Let her explain that one. This woman should not be running. By the way, she came in last. You know, she ran against Biden. She came in last, absolutely dead last. She got no votes. He got 14. Whether you like him or not, he got the nomination. They took it away from him like you take candy from a baby. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. And at taxpayer expense, by the way. And she lied about working at McDonald's. I think that's a big thing, too. With your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala and we are going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America. And in fact, we're going to bring a lot of them right back to Wisconsin with all those jobs. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine. Would have never happened if I was president. Would have never. Vladimir would never have done that. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East. October 7th would have never happened. All those people would be living today. And I will prevent World War III. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a missile defense shield all around our country, all made in the USA and a lot of it made right here. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., which is in horrible shape, making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will put in legislation, anybody burning the American flag, 1 year in jail. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools and fast. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech. And I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. Your Second Amendment will be safe. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country. We're going to defend our borders, and we are going to protect our citizens. We are going to protect our land. We are going to protect our country. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. We are being invaded. It's incredible. Think of it. We're being invaded by massive numbers. Very little difference between this invasion and the military. They don't wear a uniform. That's about the primary difference. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope and loaded up with the good old American dream. We're going to have the American dream back. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda, and we have to have a landslide that is too big to rig. Got to make it a landslide. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 6 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You're going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. We can do that. We can do that. It seems so unlikely. It seems unlikely, but we can do that. With your help, from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down, and we will never, ever surrender. Together we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. We're going to turn things around, and together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Wisconsin. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you. Just